Shut up and sit down.
I'm totally gonna go vegan this season.
My mind's on fire, so I ride my bike. I'm riding harder than a hurricane. Love is
You shaved your legs? Does shaving your legs really make a difference? Man, shaved legs make such a difference. Look at that guy with the hairy legs.
I saw the old you for a second there. My mother made me
You are listening to the Dial Podcast with Matt Legrand, Evan Price, Lance Hepler, and Jake Von During. Optional listening required.
and get that runner's high.
I'm totally going vegetarian this season. Eating is cheating, man. I think protein's really gonna help me out in my season. Hey man, do you have a gel?
That runner's high. Babe, I think I found what it means to be alive.
You guys have some lube I can borrow?
Hi, welcome back to the Dial Podcast. I'm Jake Von During. I'm here with Lance Friggin Hepler.
Lance friggin' Hepler.
What's up, Friggin?
How's it
Studio.
going? Here I am.
For your listening pleasure.
Yes, because I'm not good
And
to look
visual
at.
pleasure.
I am better looking than you, though, Matt.
I mean, that's not saying a lot.
That's
not a huge, you're not really putting too much of a feather in your cap there, sir.
That's
but
true.
something.
Something. I did
Something.
just get back from the dentist, and I'm not smiling crooked anymore.
Did they numb you up?
I had to be numb. Yeah.
You okay?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Does that feel weird having somebody else work on your mouth?
It's
Granted, you
it's-
probably never worked on your own mouth, though,
I
right?
never worked on my own mouth.
There was
but-
that one time.
But we won't talk about that. I lost my license. It's my best friend, really, that is doing it for me. So, or one of my best friends. So I've known him for 30 years.
So you owned multiple practices, and in owning multiple practices, you weren't the only dentist. So you had other dentists working for you.
I did.
Question: would you let them work on
Nope.
you, or did you go to somebody else?
went to somebody else. I always went to my buddy Andy because we started together. We went to college together. We went to dental school together, and he's really good. He's been doing it for 25 years now. He better be freaking good at this point. But he's actually
When is he going to retire?
That's the $1 million
And
question.
when he retires, are you going to let me and Jake just take our turns with
I don't know what I'm gonna
chisels
do.
trying to attack your mouth?
I'll just go see other people.
Okay.
I know other people.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
You have more than one friend.
I got more than one friend. 1, 2, 20. That's it.
Zeke counts.
Zeke counts.
Okay, he's like, I want in on this. Zeke, look.
He's like, I know teeth. Check me out. I got some pearly whites. To Lance's left, Mr. Matt Legrand.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? You guys look sparkling today. You look good.
Sparkling, huh?
Sparkling.
Sparkly.
Bring back the old sparkle farts over here again?
No. Why did you bring that up? I thought we dead and buried. We killed that and buried it.
We tried.
We hid it under the boathouse.
Good, though. Come on. All right, boys. This is Dial Podcast number 299.
$2.99.
How in the hell have we done 299 of these?
Well, we don't have lives or relationships outside of this room.
Yep.
And so we have sacrificed all of that to be able to continue. I don't know.
Huh. Well, it's 299, and that means 300 is coming up, but
It's coming up.
we'll save that for a little bit later on. For 299, how do you guys want to roll this guy out today? It sounds like we kind of went back to backpedaling first.
Sure. Let's do it.
The crowd has
Backpedal.
spoken. So, Matt Legrand, you want to backpedal for us?
Yeah. I think I ran every day since we last did our podcast. No, that's not true. Today I swam instead of ran.
Wait, you ditched last week because
I had hurt my hip, and then I took a week off, and then I started back right around when we did the podcast. Did a week of running, ran every day.
But you you ditched last week because you had to put on a team party because you guys were going to state. How did your team do at state?
Oh, state. It did okay. We went
They
to
sucked,
state. That was
apparently.
the girls got 10th. The guys got 15th. There are 16 teams, so
Nuts.
it's okay. It's okay. Well, I will say this:
Silver lining is that
Wait,
when you qualify, when you're like not sure, when you're thinking like we need to be lucky to qualify, and you have both teams qualify, you're happy. So
Are you going to get fired, Matt?
yes,
Please, can you get fired?
I know, right? They're going to be like, turn in your keys and be like, all right, we're one step ahead of you,
Here
one
they
step
are.
ahead of you.
I sent him in last week.
Feel good to be done?
It feels good to be done, but there's still, I mean, like, this is the job that never ends. There's so much stuff. Like, I still have to get like uniforms. I mean, there's like uniforms for next year. There's so many things that I have to do still.
I have to
a
imagine
mess.
that cross country is probably a little bit easier in terms of dealing with parents and the politics and all that other crap, as opposed to, you know, like a ball sport that's got positions and kids are trying to earn spots that maybe,
Yeah.
that, you know, just you get that political stuff where parents.
We have more kids, but we have less arguments over like, my kid should have made it. And you can just be like, here are the times.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And yet somehow we still have issues where athletes think they should have made this thing or whatever. And you're like,
I should be running varsity instead of JV.
yeah, you get that like all the time.
Yeah.
And every year we basically have at least an issue every year. And so typically if it's close at all, I'll be like, next race, you guys are racing for this spot, whoever wins. And we had 2 athletes that like came down to a sprint, like dive almost, like where they were just done. And it was for the spot, for the last varsity spot. And
Were there tears?
no, not. I mean, they're both good friends, so it was all good. But as coaches, we like to just let them race it out. And,
Was there some
and
good
have
taunting at the end, at least?
No,
Standing over and going,
Can't do
suck
that
it.
anymore.
nope.
Everything's too
It was
PC now.
It was good. It was good. I would have been disappointed if there was any issues that way. They're good friends, so it worked well.
Kids these days, too soft. Freaking Gen Z.
Yep. So state's over, and now we party.
Sweet.
How are we going to party? We're going to party on episode 300.
There you go. There you go. Hey, Lance Epler,
Yeah.
what'd you do?
I'm still in my
Broken back.
well
Brokeback Mountain. There's a movie about it.
There's a movie about it. Have you seen that?
That's what he's been on. This is back pedal for you.
Quit you.
I've never seen it.
Oh, well, it's a very good
I
movie.
should see it. I heard it's good. Yeah.
I've never seen it either.
Okay.
Really?
I don't know if Matt and I should sit down and watch that together.
yes,
from
Let's,
what I've heard,
let's
but
the three of us all sit down and watch it together.
Okay.
Yeah, excellent movie. Okay, we're moving on. I am still in off season. Let's say that my back is feeling better. It's
Good.
recovering. I can actually get out of bed and move
he
around.
finally finished his 500-day training plan.
No, it just restarted. It just
Yeah,
you
we're
just
starting back at
reboot.
zero.
I started back at zero.
Restart that way.
Start at zero. What's your next big race? I don't know. But yeah, I did ride a couple times. I've rode on Zwift once or twice, and I actually rode outside last night in the dark. We did a gravel ride. We did a team gravel ride where 2 people, or 3 of us actually.
It gets
showed
dark at like 1:30 in the afternoon.
4:15.
So-
it's getting dark by 4:45 here.
Yeah,
in
that's
Portland.
sketch.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was great because
What headlight thing or what light do you use on your bike?
I use the Garmin
The
UT 800?
800,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I use that one, and it's great. It is a great light. It just doesn't.
bright?
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
bright.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like too bright. Like
Yeah, you have to like dull it down a little bit. 800
Yeah.
lumens is a little much sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice when it's wooded and dealing with.
Yeah.
what happens if we're coming on not another rider, but like walkers or whatnot?
Yeah.
They can't see. All they can see is the light. They
Yeah.
can't see when people are
I
behind
point it down when I use it.
Same.
Yeah.
But even pointed down, it kind of blinds them. So when we approach somebody, I actually cover it.
Do you?
I put my fingers over it because
your mouth
it's just
over it?
too bright. It's just too bright.
So bright.
Do you remember that light that I have?
Oh, right. It was like
Lance is
2,000 lumens. Right?
His is 800 lumens. This one's
Right.
4,000.
4,000.
Holy crap, is that thing bright? You turn it on and it's
You're
like brighter than day.
You can at nighttime you can see to
You can
Portland.
see everything.
It's ridiculously bright, but anyway.
Anyway,
Anyways, cool.
yeah. So I rode a couple times, but I'm literally, I'm in my off season. I'm taking a break, but I still am riding once or twice because if I don't, I'm gonna gain like 20 pounds. I can gain weight really easy.
Holiday season's a coming.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta like buckle down and like put the pie away.
Okay. Buckle down and buckle the pants.
Unbuckle the pants.
Good.
How many gummy bears did you eat last week?
I did not eat any.
No Harbros?
No,
Is that-
that's not
is
true.
that-
I ate a whole package of gummy bears.
I read across this
There's
video
0
and,
calories
I
in those.
laughed and I'm like, oh, this is so not real, but I got to send it to Lance just to see if he'll try it. Remember the gummy bear video?
He's like, take a regular sized gummy bear and you soak it in vinegar or something.
Was it vinegar? Or I think it was just water and salt, if I'm not mistaken.
It like swelled up to the size of like a football.
yeah, it was
This
pretty
is what
fun.
happens in your stomach.
I'm like, wait, this is not true. And like, Jake's, why isn't that true? And I'm like, because science.
This is science. I was trying to goad him into going to try it and tell me it didn't work. I'm like, ah! That's fun.
All right, that's it.
Why are you looking at me?
Because what did you
Backpedal.
do? Jake, you've been riding, kind of.
If you want to call it that.
You've been on the trainer
Yeah.
a time or two. How you feeling? How's the hip going? Is it this?
Baby steps,
All right.
slow, steady progress. It doesn't hurt nearly as bad. It's actually, how do you put this? I don't know. I've been doing like light endurance intervals, trying to get it acclimated and trying to find like a comfort zone. And in the beginning, it sucked. I almost wanted to get off every single time. And now I'm to the point where it's tolerable and I'm not thinking about that. I did do the team ride on Zwift on Tuesday.
Okay.
And I got all swollen up. My quad felt like it wanted
Really?
to cramp. My calves felt like they wanted to cramp. But I don't know if that's just because I am really out of shape right now and don't have my normal fitness. And I was trying to keep up with everybody pushing some decent watts once the warm-up period was over, or if it was still kind of cranky, or if it was a combination of both. I kind of think it was a little bit of a combination of both, but all things considered, I was able to get in. I didn't finish the full ride.
You did an hour and then
Hour and
bailed.
10 minutes, yeah, and shut it down. I just wanted to, kind of play it safe and not do anything stupid and listen to my body. And that's what I didn't do before. I was pushing through before. And this time I'm just going to listen to my body, listen to other people, medical professionals, and let them kind of guide everything. So
There's another team ride tonight. You gonna do it?
I don't know. I'll probably pass on that. I don't want any intensity at all. If I'm going to go on there, it's just going to be zone 2 stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm
We
trying to
should
build
go
up my
on
volume.
there and try and race the team and just be like, yep, we suck. Fell off the back. Sorry.
Yeah. And
Because we'll still be part of the talking part.
yeah, I've been hitting the gym.
You've been
Whoa.
wow.
Yeah, been going to the gym.
Been going to the gym trying to.
I've been dead
Get
on
swole.
for a week now. I've gone every other day and
Go
just
every other day for gym stuff.
going to the gym every other day, doing all the Jimmy things.
Barrett
And
going with you.
he has gone with me, yes. And yeah, it's just been kind of fun. So anyway, we'll see.
Is he going to be good lifter here soon?
He's getting there. I mean, he's been working out with his high school team, and now they're done, and it's kind of on him to kind of do some training and whatnot. And so I've already kind of drafted up a little bit of a program for him, and going to put 20 pounds on him in the next year. Hopefully, we'll see if that happens or not. But
Some of those kids can just gain muscle. It's crazy.
he's a lightweight. I mean, he's not built like me. He gets his genetics from his mom. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But he's getting stronger. He's getting bigger. He's as tall as I am now, and
Yeah.
he still just weighs 135 pounds. So goal is to get him up to 155 and running faster and stronger. And we'll see how that comes along. But he's going to go to the gym with me all the time. He's on MyFitnessPal now, and we've got him on like a not a diet per se. We're just monitoring his calories, just making sure he's getting in enough macronutrients and getting enough calories. So should be fun.
Crazy.
Excellent.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on here. Is that guy? Is he around?
Champ.
Is he?
Is there a champ? Bailey?
Did
He's
he-
gone. He might be
Ice
gone.
cream sandwich.
Is there
Freaking
there
lame.
any news to talk about though?
There's
This is a dead time.
is kind of a dead time. There's cyclocross racing.
Yeah, that's true.
Champ Bailey in sports.
Oh, there's Champ Bailey.
I will smash your face into a car windshield and then take your mother, Dorothy Mantooth, out for a nice seafood dinner and never
Dorothy.
call her again.
Dorothy was lovely, but I just couldn't go there any longer.
Take
so.
us out for a nice seafood dinner there, champ. Let's go.
All right, Champ Bailey, world's worst cycling sportscaster, here coming to you. There was some cyclocross racing. The Pan American Cyclocross Championships happened in Missoula, Montana. Fantastic. Not a whole lot of people at this race. I'm really not sure why, but it wasn't. The men's, we were kind of hoping that the men's race would be won by Curtis White, who's our current national champion, but he was like fifth. So Eric Bruner won the Pan American national championships. What is it? So Pan American is what is it? It's North America. It's all in North America and South America. Is it South America too? I don't know. See?
No clue.
Okay, I don't even know what countries it involves. I know it's more than just America. It's North America. Yeah, I'm going to shut up now. The women's, we had our own Clara Hansinger made the trip out with a whole team. S&M cross team went out. Clara did not win. She was second place to a Canadian, Isabel Holmgren, who is very young. She's only 19, but she's been crushing.
I think I remember watching her race maybe a couple of years ago. I remember that girl, and she was wicked fast.
Yeah. So,
do you think Clara's got it? Like, got some competition for? Well, no, she's Canadian,
No,
so
she's
she's
Canadian.
not. Yeah. So yeah, never mind.
yeah.
Shut up, Jake.
And they thought she was going to race U23, but she decided not to race U23 and raced Elite, and she still won it. And Claire hung with her for like 5 out of the 7 laps, and then finally.
How did she pull away? Do you know?
No, I don't know because it was not televised anywhere. Yeah. So
There's that.
Yeah, there's that. The European Cyclocross Championships happened, so all the European countries kind of thought that Ellie Iserbit or Thibaut Nice would go and light it up, but they did not either. It was won by Michael van Taurenhout, the Belgian, who also won last year. So 2 years in a row, Michael van Taurenhout has won. And a British guy, he's actually Scottish, Mason Crosby, took second place. So finally got somebody other than a Belgian or a Dutch rider on the podium at the European Championships. So the women's race was won by Fem Van Empel. Zero surprise there. She's won almost every race that she has lined up for this year. And that's kind of how it went. Locally, we had the Fernwood Cyclocross for Cyclocross Crusade. It was real cyclocross weather, like really difficult conditions. It had poured rain for a couple days. Saturday was the state championship race. Sunday was the Cyclocross Crusade race. And it rained so hard during Saturday that there were actual rivers through the track.
Ooh.
Yeah, like the course had rivers on it. They actually had to delay the women's race for like an hour and a half because a lightning storm came through. They actually did a whole lap and had to stop them, pull them off the course, wait another hour before they restarted them. So the conditions were difficult. So not a whole lot of people were out there because it was so wet and so rainy and whatnot. But Paul First ended up winning his age group, 19 to 29 at state championships. Fantastic way to go, Paul. And then I think we had three other state championships.
Whitney and Carter Hayden.
Yep.
And Julia Barna.
Julia Barna. Yep. So all juniors.
Yep.
All won their state championships as well. So congratulations. That's fantastic. Sunday was the regular Cross Crusade. It did not rain, but the course was so wet that it just turned to peanut butter mud. So again, very difficult course conditions. And there was like not an easy pedal stroke to be had anywhere.
Yikes.
Like there's no coasting. There was a lot of running because some stuff wasn't even rideable. In the Cat 1-2 race, Max Ritzau, who's been kind of crushing it, won, and Jacob Rathe was second, and our own Paul First actually took third.
Really?
At the Cross Crusade in the.
I haven't had a
1-2s.
chance to talk to Paul about all this, so that's pretty
So
fantastic.
hell yeah, Paul!
Good.
Way to go!
Good on you.
So the women's race was won by Rachel Haas, and Libby White was second. Most of the team S&M was at the Pan American Cyclocross Championships in Missoula, Montana. So a lot of them weren't here for this. So kind of exciting. Other than that, champ out.
Thank you,
I
Chad.
don't know what else.
Any Mark Cavendish news? I heard there's, I think the guy's name's like Mark, I don't remember. I don't
Mark
wanna say it.
Renshaw.
Renshaw. I was going to say something like that.
So Mark Renshaw
He came out of retirement because he was retired in 2019. He's coming out of retirement for Project 35, or whatever it's called.
Okay, close. But Renshaw is not riding. He's director sportif.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
For Asana. He's going to come. He signed some sort of deal for Astana.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. So hopefully they can put things together.
I was looking at that. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Come out of retirement, like have two old dudes trying to make it work.
So Renshaw's not
Good luck.
racing.
Good luck,
he's
guys.
Directing. Yeah. So that's a good question.
Jij bent een klootzak.
Yes, I know. And then I guess there was that criterium in Japan for that Tadej Pogacar ended up winning, but it's kind of an exhibition race.
Yeah.
It's not a real racing, but it's a really fun event that a lot of people go to, and like they had fun things. Like they had like Peter Sagan and Mark Cavendish and Tadej and Sepp Kuss. They had a drawing competition where they all had to do a self-portrait.
That's funny.
And then they had to show their self-portrait, and they voted on who won this, like who was the best driver.
How did I miss this?
I don't know, because it's not real racing.
Well, still though, that's funny.
Yeah, so that was pretty funny. And like Tadej Pogacar's was terrible, just like a stick person, and the other ones were actually pretty decent.
So who won?
I don't even know who won. All I know
no.
is that Tadej was terrible. It was really funny. He just was laughing at himself so hard because it was so bad.
That's fun.
Now Champ is really out. That's
Champ
it.
out.
Thanks for all the crap news.
Nice. All
Great
right.
news.
Well, we're going to jump right into our topic for the week. And, well, I guess that's not really right into it, given that we've been jabbing on for about 20 minutes. We're going to talk about some indoor training stuff because guess what? It's indoor training
It's indoor
season.
training. It's been there's been a lot of rain here. It's cold. It's rainy. Time to ride indoors.
Yeah.
I have not been on the actual road out biking in so long.
I went last night.
Was it rainy?
Nope.
It was good.
Yesterday was dry.
Good.
Well, Matt, I think, has a list of different platforms you want to consider. And I think we've got some things to say about
This
some
is
of
important,
these.
people. Listen up. Indoor cycling, you have options. RGT is not one of those options. I think when people think about indoor cycling, they think about Zwift first and foremost.
Yep.
And I think that's good. Trainer Road is also probably like the next one. I don't know, maybe not, but that's the next one in my mind because I feel like they actually predated Zwift and they were trying to do things, and that's where I started with indoor riding, and it helped me a whole bunch when I was becoming a cyclist.
Oh,
but
that's a good one, but it's different, obviously.
It's totally different.
We'll get into that in a
It's
second.
not really like a virtual. It's not like virtual
it's not
riding.
gamified. It's
not
not
gamified.
gamified.
Sorry. Yes. Be Cool is another platform, and because I'm cool, I feel like I should know more about that, but I don't.
So you're not cool.
I'm not that cool. From what I've seen, like the
kids
graphics
told me
look
that.
good. My kids know that I'm not cool.
Okay.
It's $11 a month, so cheaper than something like Zwift. Ruvi is another one that I think is kind of popular. I don't know if
they
I
just
should
a full refresh on their platform. Their UI is all different, if I'm not mistaken now.
and they do like real maps with virtual riding, so it's kind of got this kind of like almost like a Google Earth feel to it.
Yeah.
And
It looks like video.
Yeah.
Like you're actually riding in the place like video.
feels like that.
How is it different than Sufferfest, though? Is Sufferfest, is the speed at which you're going not affected by how hard you're pedaling on Sufferfest, and you're just kind of supposed to go hard when they go?
Sufferfest is real video. Like you almost have like dash cam or like GoPro footage of someone like riding.
Sure.
And this is still much more like Zwift, almost more like that kind of Google Maps feel to it.
Gotcha.
$15 a month on that one. You used to be able to create your own routes with that. You cannot do that anymore, as far as I know. That was one of the big pushes, and that was one of the things for RGT as well.
Yeah.
That there's not really a company that does exactly that anymore. There are a couple of free versions. My Whoosh, which I have not tried. It seems like something that I should try because it's free.
If you ask me, that's the one that Zwift needs to be really paying close
You
attention
think
to.
My Whoosh?
I honestly do. And the only reason why is they've got a good platform to begin with. Like coming out of the gates, it's not all that shabby. It's not I wouldn't call it like a Zwift knockoff, but it's pretty stinking close. But the thing that would worry me is the financial backing that company has is unreal. The
Really?
UAE is
Oh,
underwriting
UAE.
the cost of that. And
Yeah, it's big money.
for them to throw millions of dollars at it would be like you dropping a penny on the floor and not ever really caring about it. So they're
And they were picked for the
UCI.
World
Yeah, that was a
Indoor
big thing.
Championship.
Exactly. So they've already come in like right out the gate, like, oh, here, Zwift, we're going to take this from you. You know, you guys don't get the indoor championships anymore. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to work out our bugs, and we'll see what we can do to get more people on the platform and go from there.
They got about 500 miles of bikeable worlds and stuff on that platform. So it's not nothing.
No, not at all. That's actually a good point. Do you happen to know how many miles are on Zwift? That's a good question.
No,
that
but I think it's
can't
more
answer.
than 500.
I would think so. They've got quite a few different worlds and
Pretty big.
rides and all
Yeah,
that
that'd be
fun
a good question. I'm sure Lance can pull it up. Last one that I was going to mention before we dove deep would be Indie Velo, which is interesting because it's also free. And they've kind of got they've got an interesting take on things where they're really trying to make the competitive side of stuff fair. So they're really trying to crack down on any sort of cheating. The whole platform is set up with that stuff in mind. They can look at things like your history of your training and make predictions about your ride and flag stuff that's a little bit questionable. And the screen matches what other people see, which is interesting. Like, you know how in Zwift, like you might be like, if you ever Zwift next to someone, like what they see on their screen is definitely not what you see on your screen. Although you can kind of see where people are, but that's not exactly the case. In this case, on this Indie Velo, like the screens match exactly, which is pretty cool. Single developer. So that's good and bad. It kind of makes you worried, like, oh, this is just like this passion project for this guy. Hopefully it sticks around. I mean, we'll see.
I mean, if it's got something to it, I mean, maybe somebody comes in and says, hey, we would like to buy this from you for a pretty penny. You can stick around and help us with some developing and kind of go that direction. I mean, that's kind of what happened with RGT, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep,
So,
exactly. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. I mean, the fact that it's free, I think, means that I should at least check it out, and I just got to take the next step. So we'll do that.
Cool.
Yep.
Lance, what do you have to say about all this fun stuff? What do you think? What are you using these days?
You said you did Zwift this week.
I do Zwift because I like the gamified version of it. I like riding with other people and so like if I'm just doing an endurance ride, I just join a pacer bot. Mm-hmm. And I usually pick a pacer bot.
Do you always use the same pacer bot?
No, I pick one that's somewhere between 2.6 and 3.2 watts per kilogram.
Is that between B and C?
Yes.
And then you do your workout
I don't do a workout. I just try to stay with the group. I just try to stay with it.
You just crank miles.
Yeah. And I usually pick one that has like at least 50 or 60 people riding.
Do you warm up a little bit before you hop in? You just
just
balls to the wall.
Just like, all right, here we go. Just ramp up and then
Smart.
try to go.
Smart.
You get a 5 second.
That's true.
Warm
Tons
up.
of warm up. Too much, really.
It's too much.
Let's put in a request for like a little less warm up time, please. Maybe 1 or 2 seconds, please.
Yeah. So, I mean, I do like Zwift for the, social aspect of it, that you're riding with other people, that you're, gaining drops, even though we don't know what drops really are good for, there's always a group to ride with. If you want to ride at any pace, there's always a group to ride with. And there's so many different worlds and so many different courses to ride that you can always ride something new and it's interesting. So that's why I like it.
I've noticed that it has changed substantially since I last rode on it. Like we started on RGT, I think it was in October of last year, and I canceled my Zwift subscription and just kind of moved over to RGT and was riding with them. And there's a lot of things that I loved about RGT. And then coming back to Zwift, I mean, there's some things that I do like about Zwift, but there's a lot of things that seem like they've changed, and there's still a lot of things that rub me the wrong way.
Yeah.
So, what do you like most about Zwift other than what you just mentioned there? Are you using any of their training programs? Or are you just riding and doing team stuff? Or are you?
I'm just riding and doing team stuff.
Go ahead.
I don't use their training programs because I use Trainer Road, and I've been a Trainer Road athlete for like the last 4 years.
Okay, so when you're using Trainer Road, you're running Trainer Road on a computer or iPad or something like that next to your Zwift.
Correct.
And then are you letting Trainer Road control the trainer, and then the Zwift is just picking up whatever you're doing? If
I'm doing actual interval workout, I don't use Zwift, I use Trainer Road, but people may know this. Trainer Road is not gamified at all. You're staring at. You're just staring
workout.
at the workout. You're
staring
staring
at
at
the workout.
You're staring at like power bars and heart rate bars and cadence bars. That's what you're looking at, and so you're not really. It's different. It's very effective. It works really well, and I tend to. Okay, Zwift has lots of workouts that are really quite good, but it takes a lot of work to organize them or to set up like a whole season for you. Unless you've got like one race that you're really focusing on. And that's not me. I have a whole season that I'm focusing on, or 10 different races that I'm, focusing on, not one. And so if I'm doing an interval workout, you can run both Zwift and Trainer Road concurrently on an iPad. It works best on an iPad.
Right, because you can split the screen.
You can split the screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just don't, I have Trainer Road actually controlling my trainer.
Right.
So that I can work out in erg mode, because that is by far the most efficient way to do a workout is if you do a workout in erg mode.
Yes.
Because your trainer just changes to whatever wattage you're supposed to be riding at.
Yeah.
And so you just
have no choice.
You just have to keep up with the pedaling. Although with Trainer Road, if you fail, it'll actually
ease up.
It'll ease up.
Yeah.
But so I do that, and then you can concurrently run Zwift if you want to watch people. But I don't ride with groups if I'm doing a Trainer Road workout. I just pick a course that I think would be interesting to watch.
And you do that so that you're getting your Zwift miles in, and you're seeing some course a little bit.
Yeah, if I'm not watching some movie or something. But really difficult.
It's hard for me to watch a movie and do a workout. I end up just being 100 watts.
I can do sweet spot sets and endurance workout and watch something and be able to, but I can't do threshold workouts or VO2 work, or I can't do any of that. I have to focus on the workout.
You're doing, focus,
So it makes it a little bit trickier. But I don't know. I like Trainer Road's workouts better. I like how the system is set up.
It's a little smarter in the workout ways, right? Where you really have a true calendar.
Yes.
I think one of the people, I don't remember who it was, someone was talking to us about Zwift and doing workouts on Zwift, and how it was they have workouts, and you kind of have week 1, week 7, whatever it is. But and then you have some workouts that you can click through, but there's no real plan there.
No.
It's not you look at Trainer Road and you're here's a calendar, here's how I'm going to get faster, and here are the workout sets. But Zwift is missing that piece. It's a small piece. It's a subtle difference, right? Because it kind of has a plan, sort of, that you can choose and follow, but it's different.
And the beauty of Trainer Road too is I guess I am going to do the Sister Stampede next year that I wasn't planning on. So you can drop that into your calendar on Trainer Road, and when you drop it in the calendar, it will ask you if it wants you to recalculate your training plan, and it uses AI to recalculate the training plan, and it just changes your plan for you. So you're
Is it smart if it's you had a brutal day the day of, and it's we're going to change your plan. Now you have another brutal workout tomorrow. I'm sure it's smart.
It is.
Yeah.
It will actually. It asks you after every workout you do how
was it?
How was the workout? Or if you failed the workout, say you didn't complete all the intervals, or say you crapped out on an interval, or you skipped one, it'll say, why did you fail today's workout? And you can say, I was tired. I ate too many gummy bears.
That's one of the top ones on their list, isn't it?
There was a pie sitting next to it.
There's a pie. There's a key lime pie.
It will tell you. It will tell and if you say you failed, then and the reason why, just fatigue or whatever, it'll change the next week's workouts for you so that you do get enough recovery. It also, before you start a workout, it will ask you, how motivated are you feeling to do today's workout? Dude, I'm just getting through this. I'm not motivated at all. Or I'm freaking ready to go. Mm-hmm. I just drank a whole Monster Energy, and I'm just
ready to rip the pedals
5
off
second
the bike.
warm up.
5 second warm up. Ready to go.
Go. So yeah, so I mean that's what I really like about Trainer Road is the fact that their whole calendar, their whole training plan base is all AI based. They've changed this,
Yeah.
and so it just uses so much data, and they have so much data to pull
They really
from
do, yeah.
because they've been doing this for what 8 or 10 years or something like that.
Oh,
and so
probably almost 12. I mean, they're really getting up there.
and they have access to everybody's workouts and what kind of athlete they are
And when they failed.
and when they failed and when they didn't and so they have
They got a
it's
lot of data.
There's a lot of data, and using AI to dig through that data and figure out what really works and what doesn't for most people has been beneficial.
They just kind of had a shakeup over there, though. Didn't the head trainer, the person that was responsible
Right.
for all of the input?
Chad Timmerman,
yeah.
Coach Chad Timmerman was one of the guys who wrote most of the plans. He's no longer with the company, and that happened
a year ago.
6 months ago or something like that. And I still don't know why he's not with the company anymore.
I think the last I heard it was a somewhat agreeable separation
Split,
or whatever.
yeah.
But it seems a little quiet.
Have you been using the program since he left?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Has it changed? Better? Worse? Same?
Well, they've been going down this AI path for about the same amount. Well, a little bit
Yeah.
more than that. I mean, obviously, that could be one of the issues that was like, hey, he wrote all these original plans. Now we're doing AI stuff. Which does not involve him.
Think I heard something about like the company was wanting to kind of get away from his training philosophies, his training models, and doing all of the sweet spot stuff, and we're trying to kind of push in a different direction, and they wanted to integrate more of the AI stuff. And I think and again, this is speculation.
It's
I
all
could be
rumor and
completely wrong.
speculation.
But
Yeah.
he didn't really care for that, so that he decided to kind of do his own thing and go his own way, or something along those lines. But
That could be.
I don't know. I did use Trainer Road for a period of time, and I felt like it was just the same workout over and over and over again. I'm like, I don't see this being sustainable. And I looked into the future, and like, it's just a lot more of the same. And I think I need a little bit more of that base stuff. And it's just not a program that was going to work for me per se. I am curious though, how has that changed since they've started using this AI model? I mean, is it?
Well, I mean, all I know is I used them all year this year. All my scheduled workouts were done through Trainer Road. Anything that I was on the trainer for.
It's basically your coach.
It's basically my coach.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I've used. It's $20 a month or something like that, and
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
expensive.
that's what I've chosen to use this last year instead of hiring a coach. And freaking A, I had a fantastic year. I felt really good.
Mm-hmm.
They set me up very well for the cross country mountain bike season. I did really well in gravel this year. I didn't do a whole lot of road races. My cyclocross early season was great until my body was finally done, and it really should have been done because I've been racing since friggin' March.
Oh, you did like 43, 44 or something like that races, 45?
46 race days.
Yeah.
46 race days.
Yeah.
That's
more than I've done in the last 5 years.
yeah, a lot. And I did well. I mean, I won like 7 races, which
great.
was great. And
So no plans of deviating from Trainer Road?
I'm not going to deviate from it. Here's how I use it though. I don't follow it 100%. There's nowhere on Trainer Road to go to the flogging ride. That doesn't fit into Trainer Road's plan because the flogging ride is a mix of like VO2 work and sprint practice.
Yeah.
It's
So you'll go do your sweet spot in the morning and come out and do the flogging of the night, right?
I've done that. I have done that. But there's not as much sweet spot as there was in the past. Your build phases will have a lot of sweet spot work in it. But through the race seasons, there was not a whole lot of heavy sweet spot stuff.
So would you ever consider using the likes of a Training Peaks over a Trainer Road and maybe using some other kind of training program that you can plug in there? Are you sold on the Trainer Road because of the AI stuff?
I'm sold on it because of the AI stuff. I do like it. It has worked for me, and I can adjust it how I want to. I can self-adjust it pretty easy.
Okay.
And if I did crappy on this workout or guess what? I'm going to Utah for 2 weeks, and I'm not even taking a trainer. All I'm going to do is ride outside and have fun, and that's what I'm going to do.
So one other question,
You can take your workouts from Trainer Road and put them on your bike computer and do your workouts.
And when it's nice out and I'm really
And I think
focused,
you can re-import the data too, so that it knows how you've done.
yes, it all goes right back in.
Yeah. So that's something.
with Trainer Road, does it have like a dashboard, or can you let's say that you didn't do a Trainer Road workout? Will it look at what you did? Will it take
Yes.
the metrics from that ride and put it in there and take that into
Yes.
consideration? So
Yes.
in essence, it can serve as like the same thing as like a Training Peaks, where it's pulling all of your data and you can kind of see where you're at in your TSS and all that other fun stuff.
I've never used Trainer Peaks, Training Peaks for other than just looking at the data.
So you pay for a subscription to that for the year just
do.
to see the data?
Yes.
Now, do they not? They don't have that in Trainer Road.
It's not quite the same.
Okay, maybe I asked the question wrong. Does Trainer Road, not Training Peaks, Trainer Road pull in, like if you went and did a flogging ride, will it see that information and will it take that into consideration?
Yes.
Okay. And then when you go and look at the dashboard though, is it giving you information in terms of like where your stress levels are at and what kind of training load you've put on your body and things of that nature, and you can get all the power number breakdowns of said rides that you did?
Let's see. Last night's gravel ride in Trainer Road, and it tells me my normalized power was 249. My intensity factor was 0.84, probably a little high for just a nightly gravel ride. My average power was only 213. It gives you TSS numbers, and it gives you all that stuff.
But Training Peaks gives you a much deeper breakdown.
It does.
And is there something specifically in Trainer Peaks that you need that the Trainer Road, and if you're using the Wahoo Element Bolt app and then you're looking at Strava, between all three of those things, is there something that Training Peaks offers you that you don't get somewhere else?
That's a great question. I just like looking at that FTL number.
Yeah. It's a
That's a good
it's
question,
a better
Jake.
it's a better dive into
It's like a
your
it's like
training workload
snapshot
too.
where I'm at right now. What am I at right now?
You need some sort of like bundle package where you can just
Yeah, I
get
know.
all
Do
the
all-
apps for
do
all
all three
everything.
of them.
Exactly. Well,
That would be interesting if the companies worked together and they were just
you're,
like, yep.
you're paying for Strava Premium.
Yes.
You're paying for Zwift.
Yes.
You're paying for Training Peaks.
Yes.
Paying for Trainer Road.
Yes.
What else are you paying for?
Oh, so many things.
Damn it. I don't
Apple
wanna,
TV.
I don't want to tell you. Apple TV, yeah. Those are probably Ride with GPS.
You're paying for that too.
Ride with Premium, Ride with GPS.
Trail Forks.
Yes.
that-
because Trail Forks is included with the Velo News subscription.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I pay for Velo News, which includes Trail Forks.
Do you read Velo News? Or just, I guess
Champ Bailey
Champ
does.
Bailey probably reads that.
Champ Bailey. He's got to do research. He doesn't do it, but he's supposed to do research. More than
This is
just
definitely a write-off.
Yeah, tax write-off for all that money we're not making. That's a lot of subscriptions,
It's a
dude.
lot of subscriptions.
Oh, geez. Would you give up any of those?
You could probably get away with Training Peaks giving up that.
I
one.
probably could.
I wonder if you could figure out what that number is exactly and then use ChatGPT-4 and tell it to come up with an equation based on your information that you feed it and, put it into some Excel spreadsheet so that it can basically spit out that number.
That's a
for
lot
you.
of work.
Look at all that work when all you got to do is pay $80 a year for training.
Well, and then it'll be super
a
discounted on
button.
Black Friday too. It's
Right.
like half price or
I
something.
think that's when I get it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's normally like 150, 160 bucks, and then
Yeah,
80
yeah,
sounds
for
about
80.
right.
Yeah,
So
that sounds right to me too.
interesting. Going back to Zwift.
I derailed that conversation. a
No,
little
that's
bit.
good.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
what
we
we're
want
here
to talk about. Going back to Zwift, what don't you like about Zwift?
We talked about the calendar on Zwift. That thing sucks. There's no real calendar, right?
No.
Like they don't have like a training. Like if Zwift did that, if they were like, hey, here's your training calendar and we can do some smart stuff with that, that could be killer.
I wish the metrics were a little. I should say it was more real to life when you're riding.
Right? Like the turns even,
Like
right?
the-
Like the physics are not.
Not only that, or like, I mean, the fact that I can jump in a group ride and average 25 miles an hour for 2
pushing
hours
75
at like
watts.
175, 180 watts.
I usually those I'm averaging about 190 or 195 watts for that. But I mean, you can.
The physics in Zwift suck. Let's
Yes.
just call it what it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
They always say they're working on it. They always have like every update's like, we're working on the physics.
I don't know if I've got his approval to use his name, but I'll just say one of our teammates has a son who has some friends who are working with Zwift on some aerodynamic project. They're engineer students at a particular school that's renowned for engineering. But anyway, long story short, supposedly they're working on some aerodynamic stuff, and this is with Zwift. And the hope and the thought is that maybe they're going to try and tweak their algorithm or whatever it is that their code is that, can help streamline things. But I don't understand why, if they're playing so nice with Wahoo again, like they're all of a sudden chummy best friends again, why can't they adopt some of the stuff that RGT had that was fantastic? Like the physics in RGT, way better.
They are better.
Way better. And then there's the voice chat on there. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Like we're still
in-game voice chat.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a separate app running.
Yeah,
to
and so
talk.
we came back and we did our team ride this past week. I'm like, I got to open up Discord again. Crap, I haven't used this thing in over a year. And so I had to get relogged back in and get everything set up and run all the updates. And it works all right, but it was so easy with the RGT. And it's right there. Like I use an iPad and it's just right there. You just push a button, you can hear everything just fine. I didn't have to like be running something separate. It was just built in, and that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Why can't they do that? They've got so much money.
You know what I loved about RGT was when you were drafting somebody, it told you exactly how many
Right, that's
watts
true.
you were saving
Yes.
by
It was like the
drafting
whole
somebody.
game was just like, how many watts can I get to? Like I got to max this thing out. Like that was my whole
Right.
the whole game of it.
That part was
was
part
fun.
Was cool. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Going back though, when you first log into Zwift, it seems like that initial login page, it's faster. It's a little bit snappier. It picks up all of your devices a lot faster and pairs with them really quickly and easily. I do kind of appreciate that. But then you get into the like, let's go, and then you've got this page, and then there's just so much stuff. It's just so like
That's new, actually. It used to be slightly different. Like
Yeah.
probably
Yeah, they
the
have
last time you
changed it.
did it, that was they changed that maybe 6 months ago or something. The idea was that they were going to drop you into a spot where they could kind of explain all the things that you can do. That was the goal.
yeah. It kind of needs a little bit of a makeover. This step is a
The
little
makeover
much.
that they did needs another makeover.
Yeah, it would be nice to see them kind of condense everything. Because if I want to go find a workout and just to get to where I want to go, I'm like scrolling all over the place. I'm like, where's that at? And like, I suppose like after you've used it a few times, you kind of know how to navigate to it quickly, but just make it a little bit more evident that this is where you need to go. But then you get into the actual workouts themselves, and those are kind of all over the place. And
Yep.
it feels like some of these things, it's like, what were they smoking? Were they just trying to like, because they have everything color coded based on the zones that you're working in. It's like, was somebody just like happy and wanted to use all kinds of colors and was trying to do some kid art over here, or what's going on? They threw a kitchen sink at
I
this
have
thing.
this theory that it's because the entire platform is built on top of this gaming engine that the like user interface and like the whole like how we do certain things to get started are all kind of part of this gaming platform, and it's just not built well. Which you actually see this if you go into like a lot of video games where you're like, oh, like once you get started, everything's great, it's very immersive, but like the whole menu system and all that stuff is sometimes a nightmare for those gaming things. Whereas when you're building software and it's like kind of standard OS stuff, that stuff is like, yeah, you just click through it. It's built like any other iPad app, and it will be fine. So that's my theory on what the problem is and why it's hard for a company like Zwift to come up with like a calendar program and have a training thing, and also have like, hey, here's some easy on-ramping stuff, and you don't have to, tap 8 times and swipe 20 times to get to where you're supposed to be. That stuff, it almost it's like the whole beginning piece, and until you get into a ride, almost needs to be rethought.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I know that when we did our team ride, we have a club, Dialed Cycling, that you can go and you can join in. And that part has gotten better. It used to be a huge PETA where you had to go in and set up a ride, and then you had to physically go through and invite every individual person. And for a while there, they would only let you invite so many people. I think it was like 20. And then they bumped it up to like 50, and I think that it eventually went up to 100. But let's say that we have 200 people in there, then I have to go figure out, all right, which 100 people, and have to scroll through everything. Which 100 people am I going to be able to invite to this? That has since changed. That's nice. Where I can just like post it, but I don't know if the people get a notification. Did you, like when I posted it, did you get a notification from Zwift that there's a ride that you can join, or did you get it from Strava that I pushed out?
Strava. That's what
So
I see.
I get one from Strava, but on the Zwift companion app, if you're following a club, if you're part of a club on Zwift, I got a notification that says
push notification.
Did you push notification.
Okay, you didn't have to open that up and go in there and find it and say, "Oh, yeah, okay."
No, I got a push notification that said, "I got one today," or "Yeah, I got one today because there's another
ride tonight." I got a notification, but maybe it was from Strava, because that's what we've always done. We'll like put a link in a Strava post for an event that we're going to post, and then that will push out on Strava. That'll get emailed to people. And if your notifications are turned on in your Strava app, it'll get a notification that Dialed Cycling just posted a ride. I don't recall getting anything from Zwift.
Yeah, I got one from Zwift today.
Okay, maybe I need to go check my settings.
It's
Maybe
from the companion app. It's not from Zwift itself. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's interesting. But they have made that process easier, though, where I can just post it. And there's a link that's easily shareable, and we'll put it into our team Slack, or we'll put it on Facebook, or it just depends on how we want to put the information out there. So that part has gotten a lot better. But it just felt like when I first went in there to join the ride, I'm like, well, crap, where are clubs at in here? And it literally took me a few minutes to track it down and figure out where it was so I could actually join my own ride that I had posted. And it just felt like it was a little convoluted to get to where you wanted to go.
Yeah.
We haven't changed our club or anything like that. It's just Dialed Cycling.
Correct.
So if people are listening to the podcast and you're not part of our club, they can join, right?
This is correct. Yeah.
Nice.
Join us on any ride. Because you can do that because it's virtual, right?
6:30.
Right.
6:30. There's a club event here. Dialed Thursday night with Zwift.
That's it.
Matt, do you ever use any of the workouts on Zwift?
I do, and I have used them in the past, and I've done custom workouts, and they're functional. I don't think that they're as good as what Trainer Road does, but they are, for a guy that doesn't really need to pay for another platform like Trainer Road. They're fine.
Okay, Lance, can you push Trainer Road workouts to Zwift?
No.
Yes, you can.
No.
Ooh, we're fighting.
Don't you have to? You just if you export the workout.
I guess if you export it and then
import it
into
Zwift.
Again.
Yep.
If I really want to do the workout on Zwift and I knew it was a specific workout that Trainer Road wanted me to do, I recreated it in Zwift.
You didn't think to export it?
No, I think I tried and I couldn't figure it out. But I'm not as smart as Matt.
It might even be. Yeah, you might be right. I don't know.
I thought they like blocked it, like they didn't allow it because they're kind of competitors.
Sure.
Well, you can do Training Peaks rides. I'm pretty sure that you can push a Training
Peaks. Definitely get Training Peaks right into Zwift.
So if you can push a Trainer Road ride to Training Peaks and then Training Peaks to Zwift, I mean, that's such a pain in the butt.
That's why it was easier just to concurrently run them.
Yeah.
And just hide one.
And I actually think most people do it that way too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can only do it if you have sensors. You have dual band sensors. Whoa. You can only do it if you have dual band sensors. Like your heart rate monitor will be picked up by two separate sources because it's actually two separate.
Really? Okay. And then the trainer itself, you have one controllable.
Yes.
And one Trainer Road, and then one that's just taking in power.
That's just it's not controlling it, but it does pick up what power you're pushing. Yeah.
That's a lot, dude.
It's a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot.
Gotcha. We've already talked about the ride physics. We've talked about the lack of the RGT things. Is there anything else about Zwift that you don't like? Is there anything about any of these other training programs that you think is promising over Zwift that could potentially lure you away?
Any sort of making, we talked about RGT having the make your own ride kind of thing.
That is a fantastic thing as well that all of a sudden is gone. And there were so many upsides to that because we would actually put in like our flogging ride. We would put that in there and let people kind of train on that. And, granted, it's not going to look like the flogging ride, but it's going to have all of the same elevations and climbs and all that other fun stuff.
I think there's value to that. And I think I think Zwift should potentially have something, the way they would do it would be Rainbow Road style, but I don't know.
I still say that somebody needs to figure out a way to work with Google. Maybe Google needs to come up with their own training thing, but use Google Maps and be able to like actually see where you're riding. That would be like that would pull me away from any training platform. If I could create my own routes and actually see Google Maps.
And it was actual like
It seems like Ruvi was the company that was kind of heading in that direction, or kind of looked like they might
I don't know. I just
try.
kind of felt like they put a GoPro on the front of a car, drove around, and
No,
said, "All right."
that's Oh yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah. That's what
iFit is another one.
I haven't tried.
iFit, but I think that's more like a Peloton type thing.
Yeah, Peloton is probably the biggest piece of the pie that we didn't even talk about on the podcast because
talk about
because
Peloton.
Peloton is along the lines of Zwift or bigger. So,
What trainers
Probably
are you guys
bigger.
riding these days? You're still on the kicker bike?
I'm on the kicker bike. I
Version 2?
absolutely love it. I'm on version 2 kicker bike.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
good.
love it.
did you have version 1 also?
I did not.
Okay. I
went from a
using-
Tax Neo straight to the version 2 kicker
I'm on the
bike.
Tax Neo 2, and that's what I typically use. I do test a lot of different things. I didn't mind the Zwift hub. They have a new Zwift hub thing. And then I've used the Wahoo Kicker Core, which is fine, solid option.
That thing is still
kicking.
Still kicking.
Still kicking.
Yeah. Pro tip: if you're going to buy one of those and you're looking to buy one of those, hold off just a little bit longer.
Are they going to drop the price, you think?
Yes.
For Black Friday. They got to
right around the corner.
they got to match that
Yeah,
whatever. Everyone,
it's-
I'm sure Zwift and the Kicker Core, the hub and the Kicker Core are going to match exactly Black Friday special.
What is the cost on the
Ironically.
Zwift hub?
Well, it's the exact same price as the Kicker Core right now. They raised the price to $600 to match the Kicker Core.
$599 or $699?
$599.
I think that they're selling the kicker core on Zwift right now for $699.
Oh, they should be the exact same price, I think.
What it's funny though, and I
And you get a year of Zwift.
fact check me on this one, but
Okay.
I believe they're selling the kicker core on Zwift for $699, and then they give you a free year of their platform. But they're basically just padding the cost of the kicker core because you can buy it on Wahoo for $599. So I don't know. I just thought that was kind of funny. But anyhow, long story short, you can get all of the Wahoo stuff on Zwift again, and they're padding the price of all of the products by $100, and then they give you, I think it's a
Year
full
of
year of
Zwift.
Zwift. Yeah.
So I'm seeing REI $600 for Kicker Core, River City Bicycle $600 for Wahoo Kicker Core. On Wahoo, it says Kicker Core with 1 year of Zwift for $699.
So yeah, that's what they're doing is they're padding it by $100, and then they're tossing in a Zwift.
A Zwift membership.
Exactly. But I think you can buy it on Zwift the same way. But anyway, long story short, just hold off. I think if you buy it
It'll be
at
$499.
any
I bet it'll be $500. They have to match what the Zwift Hub has to do for Black Fridays.
$489.
$489.
Yeah. And what's kind of cool, like anytime you buy a kicker product from like, say like a bike shop or REI or somebody like that, or Dial Cycling Lab, when you go to register it, you actually get this little pop-up window that gives you a code that you can take over to Zwift, and they are selling year subscriptions now. They're not doing just the month-to-month model, but the year subscription, you can put this code in, and I believe you save $80 off of the year. So that's kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. It's good for everyone because Zwift will make some money long term if people get hooked on their program.
Yep.
So, yes, I am
buddy.
excited for Black Friday stuff. There'll be deals. I mean, I'm not going to buy anything, but I'm going to keep an eye on what the deals are for
No
people.
camera gear?
I don't think so.
Are you not going to go out and buy the new Sony A3, A93 or whatever?
A93. That thing looks amazing. But
Dude, $6,000 for that camera. Amazing though. Global sensor on there.
if you pick it up, I'll borrow your camera for you. Pick it up. Global shutter. Looks good.
120 pictures per second.
Yep.
Yep. That's nuts.
Holy cow.
Full raw global sensor, no shutter. It's an amazing camera. This isn't a camera podcast, but
Are you sure?
yeah.
Could be.
But what's cool though is Sony's really good about making sure that their stuff trickles down in a relatively quick manner. But they just came out with a bunch of cameras this year, so I don't know. There's a few cameras that are due for an update, but
the A7S4 would be the one to get like all of those things.
That's your moneymaker right there. So Matt will be in the market.
I don't even know if I'll do that.
Really?
Because it's just so
You're more
expensive.
of a video guy than a photo guy.
I'm more of a video guy than a photo guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
But
All
Global
right.
Shutter. would be good.
Cool. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about with trainers?
Get on them. Get on your trainer.
I don't know.
I got to get on the trainer.
Living in the Northwest or in any northern hemisphere,
Yeah.
above Texas, it's really. I don't know how you can get through the winter without. If you want to stay fit,
Yeah. It's a necessary
without-
evil. There are some people out there that just
outside every
just
day.
did like
cross country skiing.
like Scott Westfall. Like he's a perfect example. Like I've never known that guy. I think he maybe tried indoor training once. Maybe I don't know.
doesn't do it.
I think that might
He
be
just
like an urban
rides
myth or
outside.
something. But yeah, he loves the rain. He loves to go climb in the hills. He loves to do all the things. He doesn't care if it's 35 degrees and pouring down rain. He's going to go out and ride his bike. And like, hey, my hat goes off to you. I just can't do that anymore. I don't know.
If there's icy conditions, you're sure as hell not going to find me out there biking.
No, like maybe jump on the mountain bike or the gravel bike and stick to the dirt paths, but definitely not going to be on the road. But it's just so much of a hassle. I mean, once you get out there and you're actually riding and you've got the right gear, you're okay. But there's a whole preparation process
Like
that
an
goes
hour
into
to get ready for your hour
And then
ride.
you come
Yes.
home and your bike is just destroyed. You're soaking wet. You've got to wash everything. You got to maintenance your bike, and it's just time I don't have. And I don't know. The thought of being out there on the road and it's pissing down rain and cars flying by you, and I just don't want to get. I don't know.
I also have this desire to be better at indoor biking, and I suck at it. I suck at indoor biking, and I'm like, this is where I should get good at this, because you're off the road, you're faster workouts, you're getting hard workouts. There's so many benefits to it, and I just am not good at it.
What is it that's keeping you from being good? Is it just like
I think it's like I need like a better fan system. I'm either like hot or I'm cold or I'm dripping sweat everywhere.
Let me
I
get
need
you
like
one
8
of the
towels.
headwind fans from Wahoo. Those things are fantastic. Pair that thing up to your heart rate monitor, and then all of a sudden, it's
works.
just going to help you thermoregulate based on how hard you're working, and it just makes a lot of sense.
I just don't. So like the whole thing is like, I don't look forward to going in my garage and getting on the trainer. I wouldn't mind if it's like, oh, I'm going to just like watch some show, because that's a rare opportunity for me.
Yeah.
And so like, oh, I could watch a show. That'd be awesome. But then I'm pushing like 100 watts and I forget what I'm doing.
I use a Lasco fan, Lasko. It's like it's the type of fan.
Does it have a remote for it? I feel like
no, I bought a remote on Amazon. It was like $10.
Yeah.
So I plug in the remote piece in the wall and plug the fan into that, and then it comes with a little remote. And so I don't turn my fan on for the first
right.
10
That's what
minutes, and then I'm finally get hot enough. I hit the remote, and
Is it just
turns
one
on.
speed, though?
It's just one speed.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
not like the headwind. I
little-
had the headwind,
Did
and
you
it
like
wouldn't
buy
quite
a separate
keep up with me.
remote? Did you buy a separate remote that did this thing? Maybe I just need the remote,
Yes,
because I have a good fan. I just
I
need
bought a $10 remote on Amazon.
and it's like outlet remote thing. That's
yeah.
what I need.
It's just the little tiny little
right.
keychain.
Amazon.
thing.
Or no, you can.
I got Amazon money.
Yeah, get a smart plug.
Smart plug
It's
it.
all it is. Yeah, and it makes it really
But-
easy.
Yeah.
I also use the Wahoo Desk, which is the desk that slides in and out. It's
Yeah.
on rollers.
Yep.
And,
You like
and
it?
that, I love that thing. I actually don't even put my hands and arms on the handlebars of the bike. I have my elbows resting on the desk.
That Wahoo desk saved my bacon. After I got hit by
yeah.
the car, there was no way I would be able to ride without that thing. So I would actually have it all the way up, and I would pull it. It was way over the handlebars, and I would rest my good elbow on it and put all of the weight on there. And then I would set my other arm on the desk in the sling. I was a little cattywampus, but that allowed me to ride. And I would get in that position, and like you're kind of leaning to one side a little bit, so you're kind of not riding with perfect mechanics, but I would like sit up a little bit and take a break and come back down. And that allowed me to start riding a lot sooner, which was fantastic. And I've recommended that to quite a few people who have had shoulder injuries, and they're like, dude, that actually works.
That's the ticket.
Pretty cool. But the problem is I kind of found myself getting into a habit once I was able to get back on the bike and actually ride and put my hands on the bars, but I would still, just pull that desk up, and then I would just basically crouch down on it, kind of like you're doing. Like, it's almost like a TT setup, but like
It is.
You're up high and you're trying to make yourself comfortable. But I was finding that like it was giving me like a little bit of shoulder and neck pain, and then I wasn't having my hands on the bars, and I wasn't working the core the way that I should. So there was a little bit of stuff lost in translation there. So I kind of forced myself just to going back to having the hands on the hoods. And I've been pretty consistent about that ever since, I don't know, for the last year and change, which is kind of neat. But I still use that desk all the time. It's got my phone on it. It's got my iPad on it. It's got drinks on it. And, I'll do work and whatnot. And, with talk to text getting a lot better, I can actually go on there and like write stuff and then just go back and edit it later. You can just get the content that you need
Get stuff done.
Yeah. So it helps me be more productive, which is a good thing. What other little things do you guys use before we get off this? Any other little like tips or tricks that you guys use while on the trainer?
I have like an iPad running Zwift, and then phone has like some sort of video type thing usually.
I have a big screen TV.
Yeah.
But I generally run Zwift on my iPad on the desk that moves back and forth, and I'm watching something else on the big screen TV.
I used to have a big screen TV too, and I would sometimes play music on it really loud, just blast music.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Because speakers are good usually on the TVs, and when I'm doing a workout, music works versus like a TV show or a movie distracts me from what I'm supposed to be doing.
I also use 2 fans, not just one. I
They
have
plug
one.
both into the same outlet.
Yes. Yep.
You got it on the remote.
One is blowing on my core to
One just
cool
for
me
your
down,
crotch.
and one is blowing right on my face.
Yeah.
So I have a small one mounted to the wall that blows right on my face.
That's what I need because
and a
I
second
sweat
one.
like a pig.
Yeah.
Your training session will go south so fast if you don't have thermoregulation
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
The use of fans.
Yeah.
That's an absolute must. Otherwise, you're going to be absolutely miserable. And you'll
Yeah,
just
but I
cook.
also find it like interesting how bad your wattage is when you don't have air moving and things like that. And I kind of think of it as a challenge sometimes. I'm like, I'll actually recently, like 9 times out of 10, I just won't turn a fan on. I'll just be like, I'm gonna sweat, which is gross. But then it ends up being short rides and stuff. But I don't know.
You haven't been on a dialed ride on virtual
Zwift.
rides. Did you ever join us on RGT?
Yeah, I think I did once,
Okay.
like 2 years ago. And so
Maybe
I was
you
doing
need-
more Zwift rides, but
Yeah.
I will be able to join.
Yeah,
now that
you were joining for a while, and
now I'm so out of shape, it's going to be hard. I mean, if I get dropped, I get dropped. It's not a big deal.
you can weight dope. We'll let you weight dope. It's all good.
I weigh 25 pounds,
Ah,
and I still get dropped.
yeah. We got to get you back on that. I think you just need to be surrounded by people, and I think that
that
will
helps.
force you to
It
go a
does
little bit
help.
harder and a little bit longer than maybe you would
Yeah.
normally go.
No, it would be. I used it. When the team was on Zwift before RGT, I was sort of regular, and
Yeah.
it works for me.
Yeah.
It's hard because I got to like get my family like squared away. I'm like, I'm gonna need this hour. If I miss the group, I'm not on the group, and I'm
Yeah.
gone. Like I'm off the back.
Yeah.
No chance of me catching up because that's not gonna happen. So
I
You can teleport now, though, can't
now
you?
things are different. Yeah.
I don't know if you can quote unquote teleport, but you can start up to 30 minutes late.
And still,
Yeah.
and still
So join the
spawn
group.
with the group.
Yeah, I think
So you just
we
restart.
started, and I think like 4 or 5 people like added themselves to the ride in the first half an hour. So,
Okay.
But what was interesting, and I got to go back and check the settings on this. I need to pay more attention. I just never have enough time to really get into the details. But when we were riding, you didn't see anybody else. You just saw the people that were in our group. So you weren't exposed to all the other people on Zwift. It was just
Right.
our team.
Just the people on the team.
Oh, that's cool.
So, which is cool because you kind of got the place to yourself when it's like that, and you can't draft off of other people. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Tonight 6:30.
6:30 tonight.
Yep.
Get on
I
it.
think David Barn is leading that ride. So,
Yes.
thank you, David.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. So you guys are not going to make it at 6:30 tonight.
No.
You already did.
I have not ridden today. I
So
went to the dentist
maybe.
instead. I might be there, but
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
know yet.
If I can get back from the gym in time, I might join the ride for a little bit, but it'll be me probably riding with them for a moment and then them getting
dropped.
Yeah.
fast. I'm like, I'm not doing that tonight. Have fun. So, cool. Anything else, boys?
That's it.
All right, let's jump into one
Well, okay, one last thing.
last thing.
I talked about this on my last thing, which was the Apple Watch Ultra 2 for running. That's the next video coming
What
out.
came out last week? I haven't been on the
biking
YouTubes.
one.
Oh, you did the biking one? Okay.
Yeah. So it's like it was swimming, biking, then running.
Gotcha.
Those 3.
Well, I think you said that came out last week.
It did.
Okay, and it's
then
not.
the running was supposed to come out last week, but it's taken me a whole extra week to get edited. So I'm kind of like behind a week, kind of.
Did you miss a week in there? Did the Matt Legrand miss a week?
Kind of. I feel like I'm off by about a week right now.
Yeah.
So
You have to make up that double duty every time.
Or not. Right, that's why I've been thinking. I'm like, I think I'm off by about a week right now, and I think I'm just going to let it roll.
Does anybody ever give you crap like, hey, you didn't put out a video this week, Matt LeGrand?
I got like one comment
Screw him.
recently. One comment that was like, you don't post that much, or you're not posting as much as you used to, and I'm like, man, it's still. I'm like, I'm still about once a week. It's about once a week.
Sure.
I was doing so well, but
Yeah.
if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to worry too much about it.
Cool.
It'll be out tomorrow. Should be out tomorrow. I have a video.
Looking forward to it.
Yep.
Hepler.
We got two big things happen this weekend. Do you want Saturday or Sunday?
Take them both.
Take them both.
Taking them
well,
both.
I was going to say the same thing. Like the most important thing that we have in the entire podcast is coming up on Sunday.
Is coming up on Sunday, our 300th
300th
episode.
300.
We will be recording live at Ben's Bottle Shop on Mill Plain in Vancouver
What time?
at 6 p.m. on Sunday the 12th.
Okay.
So come on by. There's drinks. There's a full bar there.
Lance is gonna
there's
get
food.
lit. Lance gonna get lit.
If there's key lime pie, I'm
If
in
there's
trouble.
crazy glue, Lance gonna get lit.
Sniffing it up.
Going back to the food bit, they normally have food, but on Sundays they open up early for football, and they only have one chef, I guess. This is what they're telling me. And said chef will be in the morning making all the food and will be off by the time that we come in.
He needs some time off.
Exactly. But they did say that we are absolutely more than welcome to bring any food that we want. And there's a bunch of other places in that center
There's
where
a
the
pizza place right
Yeah.
there. that used to
Rally
be.
Pizza.
that,
is right
that
there.
Rally Pizza closed down. But
It did?
yeah,
Rally Pizza's gone?
that Rally Pizza closed down, and then they were not out of business, but closed up for a while, and then they opened up at some brewery somewhere now, and they're like back kitchen. I got to go back and double check. They were a good supporter of the team, and they make really fantastic pizza too. But
They had a
anyway.
vegan meatball pizza, which was delicious.
Delish.
Sorry.
But anyway, you can bring your own food, and they will have all kinds of drinks flowing for those that partake in those particular things. And they've got water.
Lance gonna get lit.
Lick me up.
But yeah, Ben's Bottle Shop.
Ben's Bottle Shop.
We are asking everybody to show up, and we will at 6:00. We will start recording probably a little bit closer to 6:30, and it should be about an hour to an hour and a half, depending upon how long we talk. And then
Come with your questions. We might have a little
we should do
Ask
live,
Me
yeah.
Anything section
totally what
on
we should
that.
do.
That's what we should do. If there's people there, they can ask us
Yep.
questions. And
yeah, and if you aren't able to make it, or if you're able to make it, just like ping us, DM us anywhere on, like, I don't know, you can go info@dialedcycling.com, email us, you can go to Facebook, you can go to Instagram, DM us on those with your questions. And if you got a topic that's kind of, burning a hole in you and you want to get some answers to that or know or take on that, let us know about that too. We'll try and touch on anything and everything that the listeners provide.
cool.
Fun. What's on Saturday, Lance?
On Saturday, we are having our 5th annual Memorial Michael Myers ride.
Yes.
Michael Myers was our illustrious teammate. He was one of the founding members of the Dialed Cycling team. It was partially his idea why we have this whole cycling team. We lost Michael 5 years ago yesterday. He died in a training accident, and we do a memorial ride every November. It's the same route that we've always done. We're starting at the Dialed Cycling Lab at 9 a.m. on Saturday morning, rain or shine. And we ride out to the Salmon Falls area that has a view of the Multnomah Falls, a little peekaboo view.
Exactly. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's got our little tree that we adopted, the Michael Myers tree.
Yeah.
So we will be out there with donuts. Michael loved donuts. He was a big proponent of the Texas donut at Dot Donuts, which is where we always get the donuts. And if you think about a donut that's about the size of your face with like sprinkles on it, that's the donut we're talking about. So we'll get a bunch of those, cut them up, and then coffee. So should be fun. I think
It
we've
should be
got
fun.
I don't know. We'll probably have about 15 to 25 people. Depends on how the weather is. I haven't even begun to look at that.
It doesn't really look good.
Really?
It's not going to be windy, but it looks like it will be rainy. On
Yeah,
Saturday.
we've seen some rain a few times. We've seen hail. We've seen wind, and it's always been kind of fun. And there's always, for whatever reason, like a little bit of weather that's kind of crappy, which Michael always hated. But then there's always a segment in there where the sun comes out for some reason.
Right.
It's just the most crazy thing. But anyway, Anything else?
Looks like lots of rain on Saturday.
Yep, it might be rainy on Saturday. So come with your wet weather gear.
Oh, yeah. And then I guess since Lance covered all the other stuff, I will just touch on one more time. Please, if you are interested and you're in the area, come on out and join us at the Ben's Bottle Shop for podcast number 300. I still can't believe that we've done 300 of these. That blows my mind. The fact that you guys all listen, that blows my mind too.
Well, they're not listening anymore. They turned us off 20 minutes ago.
Thank you for your listens.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we do thank all of the listeners. God, it's been like peaking or spiking all over the place. And it's just kind of like, wow, there's a lot of people listening to this all over the place in different countries and whatnot. So thank you. So stoked about that. But I did want to touch back on Michael Myers. I don't know. I miss that guy. I really do.
That guy too,
Yesterday was his actual passing anniversary. He has been gone for 5 years, which is really tough to wrap your head around. And I got a really nice text message from his wife, and she was just telling me about I made a video when he passed. It was kind of like a video slideshow kind of thing, and she went back and watched it for the first time 4 or 5 years, and she just wanted to say thank you for that, and that made me go watch it. And it's it kind of gets you choked up a little bit, and then she sent me a picture of her on her bike riding a little bit later that day because she's since relocated back down to California, and she's like, I did my own memorial ride today, and she went on a little bike ride. I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. So anyway,
she's
Michael,
doing great, thankfully.
Yep.
She has met a great man that she has married that has taken on their 2 boys fantastically. She just seems really happy.
Yeah,
now,
and
which
it was
is good.
And it was kind of fate too that they met because he was a widower as well, and that's how they met.
And on a widower's group?
Yes, a support group.
I did not know that.
And they
That's
just
cool.
kind of ended up becoming friends, and then over the course of time they started dating, and then now they're married, and he's got a couple kids and she's got the boys, and they've just kind of started over their lives, and they can support each other, and they respect what each other's gone through. So, good on them. But Michael, if you're out there listening, we miss you, buddy. Hope all's well. And hopefully you can throw a little bit of sunshine our way on Saturday. So, all right. Anything else, guys?
That's it.
All right. We'll see you on Sunday, right?
Sunday.
Live.
Sweet. All right. Well, thank you for listening. And until then, bye for now.
All right, well, this has been pretty scary, and I need to feed my cat.
Go home, Sugar Bear. Go home.